Welcome to Sir Win's Accounting Lectures. Today, magkakaroon tayo ng pen and paper video problem solving patungkol sa Lecture 01, Loans Receivable. Actually, nasa description ng mismong video lecture na ito yung mismong problem under discussion. Kung gusto mong sagutan ng solo at balikan ang lecture na ito kapag tapos ka na, mas mabuti. Kasi, ang accounting ay natututunan not by mere listening but actually by you doing the problem solving. Pero kung may sagot ka na nga, simulan na natin. Again, Lecture 01, Loans Receivable. And here is our problem. Angelus Bank granted a loan to a borrower on January 1, 2024. The interest on the loan is 10%, payable annually starting December 31, 2024. The loan matures in 3 years on December 31, 2026. The principal amount of the loan is 4 million. The origination fees charged against the borrower is 342,100 and direct origination cost incurred is 150,000. After considering the origination fees charged against the borrower and the direct origination cost incurred, the effective rate on the loan is 12%. So here are the requirements. Letter A, compute for the following. Carrying amount of the loans receivable as of January 1, 2024 and carrying amount of the loans receivable as of December 31, 2024. Also, compute for the interest income for year 2024 and 2025. Letter B, journal entries for 2024 to 2025. Okay? So first, we have to compute for the carrying amount of the loan as of January 1, 2024. So letter A. Okay? So sabi dito, nagpautang tayo sa amount na 4 million. So basically, receivable natin itong principal amount. Hindi na po yan kinakailangan explain ng mas malalim sapagkat alam na natin yan, nakokolektahin mo yung 4 million na yan. Ngayon, ang tingnan natin is ano yung treatment sa origination fee. Ang origination fee ay mga gastos para mag-originate or matuloy yung loan. May mga pagkakataon, tayo, yung bank, yung nagpapautang, nagkakaroon tayo ng gastos dyan. So let's say in this case, origination cost incurred 150,000. May mga pagkakataon din naman na hininingil tayo ng processing fee or ito ng origination fees charged against the borrower na 342,100. Simple lang ang computation yan. Titignan natin yung ating point of view. Pag naglawas tayo ng pera, it will be added in our loans receivable. Kasi syempre, parang pinautang mo rin siya. Kung tayo naman ang nakatanggap ng pera, therefore, that will be deducted to compute for the carrying amount of the loans receivable. What I'm trying to say is, the direct origination cost, dahil tayo ang gumastos niyan, it will be part of our loans receivable. And then the origination fees, received or yung charge against the borrower kasi binayaran niya yan, will be deducted kasi parang lumalabas, ibinayad niya na yan sa atin. So by doing this, we can now determine the carrying amount of the loans receivable. Ayan. As of January 1, 2024. Again, ano yung technique? Tandaan lang natin ano yung behavior ng cash flow. What I'm trying to say is, di ba, yung kapag ka nagpautang ka, palabas yung pera. Kapag ka nagkaroon ka ng origination cost na ikaw ang gumastos, lumabas din yung pera. Kapag naman sila nagbayad, sa malamang papasok. So, ang inaalam talaga natin dito, magkano yung total na nailabas mo o yung cash inflow or outflow mo dun sa transaction ng pagpapautang. So, again, that will be our carrying amount. So, isolve na po natin. Here is our calculator. So, yun, again. So, we have 4 million. Ayan, plus 150,000 plus minus, 342,100. So we will get the carrying amount of the loan which is 3,807,900. So may sagot na tayo dito sa number 1. Okay? Tumuli pa tayo. Gawin na rin natin itong journal entries. Kasi mas maganda kung diretso na natin siyang masasagutan. Kasi may data na naman tayo dito. So, on January 1, 2024, ayan. Okay? Nagpautang nga tayo. So, we are going to debit loans receivable amounting to 4 million. And we are going to credit cash amounting to 4 million. And then, nagkaroon tayo ng origination fees received. So basically, that would be debit cash amounting to 342,100. Baliktad yung behavior ng cash, di ba? And we are going to credit unearned interest income. Okay? Amounting to 342,100. Moreover, naglabas naman tayo ng 150,000. So that will be debit to unearned interest income and credit cash, 150,000. By the way, nalalaman mo kung anong account title ang gagamitin mo dun sa origination cost. Depende yan kasi kung sino ang mas mataas. Kung yung origination fees received from the borrower or the direct origination cost. In this case, mas mataas kasi yung fees received, kaya therefore unearned interest income talaga yan. Ibig sabihin, mayroon tayong dagdag na kita doon sa pagpaprocess. Kasi ang nagastos lang talaga natin ay 150,000, pero ang sinihil natin doon sa borrower ay 342,100. So sa case na yun, mayroon tayong dagdag na interest income. At dahil nga doon sinabi ng problem kanina na ang ating effective interest ay naging 12%. Di ba siya ay interest bearing? Ang kanyang nominal rate ay 10%, pero because of the processing fee, origination cost, naging 12% tuloy. Okay, so kasi nga may dagdag tayo nakita, di ba? Kaya yung 10 naging 12, pabor sa atin yon. Nasagutin na din natin yung journal entry as of January 1, 2024. Ngayon tumuloy na tayo. Okay, what will happen next? Alamin natin ang kanyang carrying amount as of December 31, 2024. That is better be solved if we use amortization table. So we have to put headings first. Sana tanda pa po natin yung ating table. So we have here the date. Then we have here the interest collection, the interest received. And then we have here the interest income. Okay. And then we have here the amortization. And the carrying amount. Dapat lang talaga tandaan natin kung ano ang ating parang table, yung ating mga headings. Kaya sabi dito, ang una natin date ay January 1, 2024. Ang carrying amount ng ating loan is 3,807,900. And then, lilipas ang isang taon, di ba ang sabi ng problem, nagkakaroon ng payment ng interest every year. So what are we going to do? The 4 million, which is the principal amount of the loan, will be multiplied by the nominal rate of 10%. Di ba 10% ngayon ating nominal rate? Okay, so 4 million times 10%, that would be the interest collection, which is 400,000. Ngayon ang ating interest income ay hindi talaga yan, but rather kung ano yung ating carrying amount. So therefore, 3,807,900 multiplied by the effective rate, which is 12% times 0.12. So we will get this. Interest income is 456,948. And the amortization will be the difference of the two. So minus 400,000. So that would be 56,948. Okay? Since ang principal amount ng loan ay 4 million, therefore, gagawin natin siyang 4 million as time goes on. Therefore, the amortization of 56,948 will be added to the carrying amount, to the previous balance of 3,807,900. So the answer would be 3,864,848. And then it will be continued sa 2025, which I believe 400,000 rin ang kanyang interest collection. At sinabi nga pala ng problem, the loan matures in 3 years. Therefore, tuloy na po natin hanggang 2026. Na ang collection talaga ng interest ay palaging 400,000. Now, how much is the interest income? Kung magkano yung dating balance na carrying amount will be multiplied by the effective rate of 12%. So, 463,782. And then we have to get the difference. So, minus 400,000. That would be 63,782. That will be added to the previous carrying amount of 3,864,848. Okay? So the new carrying amount would be 3,928,630. And then, bilang panghuli, dapat balancing figure na lang yan kasi minsan mayroon ding error nga. Therefore, sa dulo po ang carrying amount natin would be 4 million. Okay? 4 million. So 4 million yung difference ng dalawa. Atin pong binabaliktad yung approach okay, para makuha natin yung balancing figure na 71,370 and then it will be added to 400,000. Okay? So this will be 471,370. By the way, ulitin ko, baka may mga nalilito. So 3,928,630. Yung talagang tamang proseso, that will be multiplied by the effective rate of 12%. So when you multiply, you will get 471,436, I mean. But then, medyo iba nga yung lumalabas na amount. So anong sinasabi ko kanina? Kapag kadulo kasi, minsan ginagawa na lang balancing figure. Kasi nga, yung difference sa 435 at 370 dito sa dulo, 436 pag na-round, at saka doon 370 sa dulo, rounding error lang po yan. Okay? Kaya ang ginawa natin, sinakto na agad natin na 4 million ito, kinumpit yung amortization, and then inad na lang yung interest collection para makuha interest income for 2026. Okay? By the way, hindi naman po hinahanap ang amortization table. Pinakita na lang din natin kung paano siya gawin. Now, let's answer the questions. How much is the carrying amount of the loan as of December 31, 2024? So basically, may sagot na po tayo. Ito yun. Carrying amount of the loan as of 2024. Nandito po siya. 3,864,848. Tinatanong ka rin how much is the interest income for 2024. O nandito siya. O di ba ito siya? O interest income. Ito yung 2Y. Ayan. Di ba? How much is the interest income for 2025? O nandito rin. So ito yung 2. Ayan. Tama po ba? Through amortization table, kaya natin sagutan lahat. Okay? Hindi po natin pwedeng tawagin na interest income, yung interest collection. Kasi nga, nabago nga effective rate, naging nga siyang 12%. Okay? So therefore, ang natitira na lang na hindi natin nagagawa is a journal entry for 2024 and 2025. May sagutan tayo kanina sa January 1, 2024. So ituloy na lang natin sa December 31. Pagdating ng December 31, 2024, okay? What will be our entry? There is an interest collection. So therefore, we are going to debit cash kasi nakatanggap tayo ng call interest amounting to 400,000 and credit interest income. Okay? Amounting to 400,000. Ayan na yun. And then afterwards, there is an amortization of this amount, 56,948. So we are going to debit the unearned interest income. Kasi may dagdag tayo interest, di ba? So debit and earned interest income amounting to 56,948 and credit interest income amounting to the same amount, 56,948. So napansin ninyo na ang interest income talaga is ito. Kasi siya yung total ng dalawang credit na interest income. Isang collection, isang amortization. Tumuloy na tayo sa 2025 kasi hinahanap din. Sa 2025 naman, kay wala pong entry in January 1, meron lang tayo December 31. Basically, yung interest collection lang at yung amortization. So we are going to debit cash also amounting to 400,000 and credit interest income amounting to 400,000. And then there is an amortization again. So debit unearned interest income and credit interest income amounting to 63,782. Okay, so napansin talaga natin, simple na lang po ang entry kapag meron na tayong amortization table. Ang pinaka-challenge talaga dyan is ano yung treatment sa origination cost. Simple lang din naman natin tatandaan, pag tayo ang naglabas, malamang, okay, isasama natin sa principal amount. Pag tayo naman ang nakatanggap, okay, iba ang treatment niyan, nakadidak. At pag mas malaki ang origination fees receive, pabor sa atin yun, merong unearned interest income. Kung sakali naman baliktad po yung origination cost naman ang mas mataas kaysa sa origination fees received, hindi lalabas yung unearned interest income, but rather, there will be an origination fees that also to be amortized naman, which will be a reduction in our interest. But in this case, baliktad ang nangyari, mas mataas yung ating interest. Kasi nga, again, mas mataas ang natanggap natin kay borrower. So yun lamang at maraming salamat.